The distress beacon cut through the void like a dying star's last gasp. Serenity stood on the observation deck of the orbital defense station, her reflection ghostly against the viewport as she watched the Krell Armada materialize from hyperspace. 200 warships, each the size of a small moon, their weapons already charging with that sickly green glow she'd seen in the intelligence briefings. "We have maybe 6 hours," Cameron said quietly beside her, his tactical display casting blue light across his worried features. The planetary shields won't hold against that kind of firepower. Earth had always been alone. For 3 centuries since humanity had stumbled into the galactic community, they'd been the newcomers, the species without ancient alliances or treaty obligations. While other civilizations had formed pacts spanning millennia, humans had simply helped where they could, expecting nothing in return. Serenity remembered her grandmother's stories about the Vexian plague, how human medical ships had rushed to their aid when the Galactic Council deemed it too resource-intensive. She thought of the Doral refugees that Earth had sheltered when their sun went supernova, housing millions for decades while they found new worlds. The Kristan food crisis, the Yulanti civil war, the breach of Sector 9. Always, humans had answered the call. "Send the message," Serenity said, her voice steadier than she felt. "All frequencies. Let everyone know Earth needs help." Cameron's hands hesitated over the controls. They both knew the statistics. In galactic history, no species had ever come to humanity's aid. The other races saw them as naive, their altruism as a weakness to be exploited. Why would today be different? The message went out anyway, a simple broadcast. "This is Earth. We are under attack. We request assistance from any who remember." The first hour passed in silence. The Krell Armada advanced, methodical and terrifying. Serenity coordinated evacuation efforts while Cameron managed the woefully inadequate defense fleet. 30 human ships against 200 Krell dreadnoughts. The math was brutal. Then, at the 90-minute mark, something changed. A hyperspace window opened near Jupiter's orbit. Cameron's sensors lit up like a festival. "Serenity, I'm reading. It's a Vexian medical fleet. 20 ships, but they're powering weapons." "The Vexians?" Serenity's breath caught. "But they're pacifists. They're broadcasting on all channels." Cameron pulled up the audio. A familiar, chittering voice filled the station. "The Vexian Collective remembers. When plague took our young, humanity gave us hope. Today, we give them our shields." Another window, then another. The Doral arrived with their massive colony ships retrofitted with weapons. "The Doral remember. Earth gave us sanctuary. We give them our strength." The Kristan came next, their agricultural vessels transformed into kinetic bombardment platforms. The Yulanti brought their entire defense fleet, ships still bearing scars from their civil war. "Humans bled to stop our bloodshed. We will not let them face this alone." Serenity watched in disbelief as the tactical display transformed. 67 species. Every single civilization that humanity had ever helped, now dropping out of hyperspace around Earth, forming a defensive perimeter that stretched across the solar system. Cameron was laughing and crying simultaneously, trying to coordinate the suddenly massive fleet. "Serenity, I'm reading Slick Hunters, Vryn Scholars, even the Torth. They haven't left their system in 800 years. A grizzled Vryn commander appeared on screen, her translator crackling. "When our libraries burned, humans sent their own precious books, their own history, to help us rebuild ours. We will not let their world burn." The Krell Armada slowed, clearly recalculating. Their 200 ships now faced a coalition of 3,000 vessels from across the galaxy, mismatched, cobbled together from every corner of known space, but united by a single memory. Humanity had helped when no one else would. The Krell commander's transmission was curt. We were not informed Earth had defensive pacts. They don't, replied the Vexian commander. We are not here because of treaties. We are here because of something your species has never understood. Gratitude. The Krell withdrew. Not defeated in battle, but overwhelmed by something their strategic computers couldn't quantify. Love returned, kindness reciprocated, a debt honored across the stars. As the alien armada retreated into hyperspace, Serenity found herself surrounded by holographic representatives from 67 different species, each one echoing the same sentiment in their own language. We remember. Cameron stood beside her, watching Earth below, blue and green and precious. We were never alone, he said softly. No, Serenity agreed, wiping tears from her eyes. We just had to trust that kindness wasn't weakness, that helping others wasn't naive. In the days that followed, the coalition didn't immediately disperse. The 67 species stayed, helped repair Earth's orbital defenses, shared technology they'd kept secret for generations. The Galactic Council, which had watched but not intervened during the Krell attack, suddenly found itself irrelevant as a new alliance formed. Not based on strategic interest or political maneuvering, but on something far more powerful. The Vexian commander said it best during the ceremony where humanity was formally welcomed into what would become known as the Concordance of Remembrance. You humans have a saying, no good deed goes unpunished. Today, we prove it wrong. Today, we show the galaxy that good deeds create something unbreakable. Friendship that spans the stars. Serenity looked out at the assembled fleet, at the representatives of 67 different civilizations who had answered Earth's call, and she understood something profound. Humanity's greatest strength had never been their weapons or their tactics. It was their unwavering belief that helping others mattered, even when no one was keeping score. The galaxy had been keeping score all along, and when Earth needed them most, every single debt was repaid, not because they had to, but because they wanted to, because 67 species remembered, and that made all the difference. The end.